What's up, guys? Welcome to another live session. Today is February 20th, 2020, and we're back again on the charts for our Thursday session. Quick reminder, the Discord channel, if you guys want to join, you probably already got an email about it, but if you haven't, make sure you email support@forexlens.com to get in. We have a lot of chats going. I'm chatting, I'm being active there too. Edward, Janny, a lot of people. We have a lot of people talking, sharing results, chart work. It's awesome, and all of our signals are still here, so you can see vanity and trend, just like Telegram. But I'll personally be more active on here, and you also have minors, majors, and every setup I send in the live session will also be sent on the Discord, so you can see yesterday's setups here. And so we're going to go over those setups, but make sure you join. That way you can connect with me outside of the live session as well. And we do have some music playing in the background. Hopefully you guys like it and you don't mind it. I thought it'd just be better to have something playing in the background when there's quiet gaps. So without further ado, we're going to cover a few setups that we took yesterday. Luckily everything's on profit, it's all good to go. And then there is a setup that I do want to take today, but it's based on what happens with the dollar, and that is Aussie dollar. But first off, let's look at the pairs that we're in. So NZDCAD completely melted. And this setup is a setup that we took last week and then again this week, and that's because it was on a monthly time frame that the trade was taken. If you take a look on the weekly, this weekly candle is absolutely monstrous. It's huge. It's a bearish engulfing. It's bigger than the past maybe 30 candles. It's bigger than the past 30 candles. You can tell how weak the NZD is and how strong the Canadian dollar is. And so I am expecting we go all the way down here. I've taken I think 90% of my profits. Have a small little runner going. I will look to maybe enter another position on Monday. Just because Friday's coming around, right around the corner, and I don't want to hold anything over the weekend. But we're currently resting on our second take profit. So this is the entry, first take profit, second take profit right here, and currently we are up around 70-ish pips for the trade so far, and we have another 70 to go to. So if you guys want, you can definitely take profit now. I do expect some sort of retracement on the 4-hour, maybe back to TP1. And so either or is going to happen. Either we continue going down or we might make a retrace back up. What I did is have a small runner, a 0.25 lot running with stops at profit, just about 15 pips into profit. So if we do make a deep retrace to TP1, we won't get stopped out. We would have to go all the way up to here to get stopped out, because I do think there's more downside. And regardless of what happens, Friday I'll close the trade in whatever stop loss I decide upon. So that's looking pretty good. Another setup that is currently working out is USDCAD. So popping to the daily, you can see I gave a second entry criteria for everyone that might have missed the initial, and so that was activated yesterday. And we did go into some profit around 22 pips, but then we popped back up, which is fine. If you look at the 4-hour, it was just a nice push back up to kind of retest these previous levels. It was a bit annoying, but this candle confirmed that we're still headed lower, so no biggie. Just keep holding it, and if anything, tomorrow during tomorrow's free session, we can analyze if we're going to still hold the trade or not. But it's still looking pretty good. We're still in profit. I was expecting this to kind of just sell off just like NZDCAD did, but the reason why it didn't was the dollar is so strong that it's kind of showing some reluctancy to go down. And we'll look at the dollar. The dollar index is actually pretty interesting, so this is good. And then we also had Euro USD and NZDUSD. So Euro USD, as you can see, we got the entry 2 days ago, and we went into some profit. TP1 was hit, and then since then we got stopped out at our partial. So what we're going to be looking for is another re-entry, and all we're going to do is what we did in the past. So if you guys remember, when we shorted Euro the first time around, we created support here and we kind of stalled. So we put a horizontal array, and when we got a break of it on the 4-hour time frame, a bearish break, we entered short. So the same thing we're gonna do if you take this horizontal ray and you move it all the way down here, you can kind of see we've created the support, right? The support right here, and it's the same intuition. We're trading with the trend. If we clear all these lows down here and we push down here, then more than likely we're going to continue headed lower. So that's the trade idea. I'm going to move this all the way down here. So our potential entry could be somewhere at 1.07682, and our stop loss would be right above these wicks. So our stop loss will be at 1.08546. And if you go to the daily, we can adjust the idea. So this is the target, 2.66 RR, and this is the long-term target that we've been eyeing for quite some time. We had a few days of, I think we had like 9 straight days of sells. So there could be a retrace with some buyers coming in, because the dollar index is right at resistance, and so you might see a retrace before we head back lower, which is fine. But this is such a significant bear trend that I doubt there'll be a reversal at this point when we've crushed multiple supports and there was no reversal. So it's all looking fine and dandy. But this is a setup that I'll send in on Discord and Telegram. Awesome. So now NZDUSD is playing up perfectly. The dollar is strong and NZD is very weak, so you know the drill, just melting. And this trade is probably a trade that you could hold over the weekend if you elected to, because the coronavirus numbers are only going to get worse. But just take a look at the 1 hour, see how far we've come. And so this is a signal I called during the day on Telegram and Discord, just because I add the live entry, and this was the entry, and we had a nice slip down, very little drawdown if any, and we're looking good. So first take profit was hit. I'm looking at this as a second take profit, and maybe it'll be hit next week, because I do think this thing might retrace a bit. So if you guys want, you can make your stops at entry and take partials, because the dollar index is at resistance, so there might be some retracement before the next push happens. But this is also pretty good. Now let's look at the dollar index, because everything that I say is going to be based on how that acts. So one second. Alright, this is the one. So if you guys remember, on Tuesday's session we did a dollar index analysis, and we said the level that we're going to be watching out for, if we break this resistance zone, which we did with amazing power and significance, we just shattered that level. The next level we're going to look at is the 100 psychological level, and we went as high as I think 99.70 or 99.80, 85. Actually no, 91.90. So we went to almost 10 pips away from the dollar index target, and so this is close enough for me to start thinking about potentially shorting the dollar, just for the near term, just till maybe back down to here. Right, that could be the worst case scenario. Alternatively, on a small time frame, you could just make a retracement to one of these highs right here. So you can see these previous highs down here. We could just make a miniature retracement to this level and then go back up. So I'm still bullish on the dollar. It's just the technicals are currently letting some of the majors gain on the dollar, but this is the scenario. So right now USDCAD should continue to fall and go in our profit zone. USDCHF, which is a trading idea that was shown on Discord by one of our members, was also looking good. One moment guys while I plug in my charger. Alright, just need some juice. We're good now. But that's what I see for the dollar index. So everyone has this chart. If not, I'll send this on Discord as well. If you're looking for USDCHF short, or even USD CAD short, Now's a good time to enter just because the dollar index is starting to really pull away from that 100 psychological level. So those charts will be on Discord and Telegram. Let me give a morning salute to everyone and check the chat as well. That mini rally in USDCAD stopped you out at 1.32607. That was from Edward. Let's take a look. I don't think it will reach that high. If you were in yesterday's session, I think I made it clear that if you guys enter now, make your stop loss here because it's still a 4.0 RR setup. Because USDCAD may make some pretty huge size retracements just because the dollar is so strong right now. But putting your stop loss where I specify is very important. Don't try to cheat on the stop loss because there's nothing worse than, making your stop loss less than it needs to be to get stopped out, and then the trade ends up going, in the desired direction. So, yesterday's video should be up. We'll look at GBBCAD. Alright, so let me look at that as well, GBBCAD, and then we'll look at Aussie dollar, because I think that's going to be a setup that'll be in play. So GBBCAD, oh my god, look at the volatility. So this trade's actually activated for those that are wondering. So you guys know for me, for pound pairs, I like to wait for the 4-hour closure. This is not a bearish closure, it's a hammer, but technically it still warrants an entry just because you're going with the trend. And if you entered, no sweat. If you haven't entered, you're in good shape too, because if you entered on this candle, you jumped the gun, you still would have made a nice chunk of profit, over 40 pips worth, right? So if you entered on this candle, this red candle right here, you would have made around 30 pips of profit, right? Now if you are waiting to enter, this candle right here is perfect. If you go to the 1 hour, we can kind of see what's happening. So we had to slip down, a lot of hammers were printed, and then we have this huge engulfing candle come through. So basically for the hourly time frame for pound CAD, all you want to do is identify the low we made. This is the low right here, and any break below that low could get you guys in the trade again. So if you're in the trade, you might want to close out in some profit because this might pop back up. If you're not, just wait for the close below 1.70 250, 1.70 250. Okay, a bearish kind of close below the past low will take us lower. So it's a win-win for anyone that jumped the gun and entered, or anyone that's waiting for it. I'll put an alert because this might be a nice trade to get, a nice 80 or so pips before the trading week ends. So I'm gonna put that down. And yeah, so at this point, if anyone has any pair recommendations, let me know. Before I look at Aussie dollar and also a setup I shared on TradingView yesterday. Please follow us on TradingView because I do post a setup a day, and sometimes there are gems. So let me try to show you this one. Alright, so this is a setup that's currently pending. Basically, what we're waiting for on the 4-hour time frame is either a break above this level to go up all the way to here, or a kind of a rejection from the zone to go lower. And currently it's looking like the latter is more likely. We did get that rejection candle, although it wasn't very bearish or as bearish as I'd like it to be. It's still a bearish candle. I think this next 4-hour candle will tell us what's going to happen. If the body of this candle can come back down and turn into a bear, I would be elected to take the intraday short on this trade. So this is on TradingView, on our TradingView, so you can check it out there. And it's also on Discord, so give that a look. And this could be something that could be in play later today as well. So we are looking to short GBP CAD continuation and pound yen. So that's a good correlation that we can take. So lastly, before we end this session off, was Aussie dollar. This thing just melted like ridiculous. Like this is crazy. If you can see, it's on a mission. It's on a mission to make historic lows. So if you go to the weekly, look to the left. Was this the chart we analyzed? Yes, it was. Okay. So the monthly will be the best. So on the monthly, you can see we're down here. If we look to the left, the last time we were down here, we went all the way to the bottom. Okay. And now this blue support zone was so big that we've never closed below it since 2004. Since 2004, Aussie dollar has never gone below this blue zone until 2009, and when it did, it went all the way down here. The floodgates opened. So if we look as recent price action, 2015 we rebounded, and then in 2018 we got the break, the retest, and a clear rejection. Look at this monthly candle right here, a clear rejection of the support zone, and this next monthly candle is just leaking down. So I really want to take this swing setup. Right now is a pretty good entry point from the monthly standpoint. Let's head over to the weekly and daily, see if we can get our stops and take profit levels down. So this is such a bearish weekly candle. It's screaming a short, and I think we should enter now, guys. So this is a mega swing trade account. If you have a small account, don't bother. You can just put it on your demo account just to see the experience. But this is what we're looking at, guys. Very simple. Stop loss could even be better than this, but it's a 3.0 risk to reward setup. If for some reason it makes a deep retrace here, we can always adjust our stop loss to here, and it'll still be a 2.0 setup. But I think this is fine for now. And so go ahead and enter, guys. I'll give the stop loss levels. I guess I'll just quickly do them right now before I end the live. So live entry, Aussie dollar short. Use your risk management. Please maybe go 40% of your regular position, 30%. So bear with me while I look for these specific levels. I'm just looking for a wick activity. Okay. One region right here. The next one here. Now these are semi-arbitrary because we're on the weekly time frame. But what I'll do is I'll actually send out a signal after the live with actual take profit levels. The first one will probably be 25 pips away, just to make sure that we do get something out of the trade without risking too much. And then afterwards we'll have bigger and bigger take profits. So resetting the chart. This is the setup we have, and I'll be sending this through on Discord and Telegram. So coronavirus not going away anytime soon, and the dollar is going to be dominant. So this is our overall trade idea. If you guys remember our 2020 projections, they're all pretty much coming to fruition. We'll take a look at gold in a bit, but this is the setup. I think it'll be the setup of the quarter, to be honest. So I'm gonna save this. It'll be sent through. Let's look at gold because we've been pretty bullish on gold, and a lot of people who have been trying to short it just got burnt. So this is our monthly idea. So look at the monthly time frame. Look how close we are to our target of 1800. Pretty damn close. So we're coming close to getting 1650 out of the way, and then 1700 and 1800. So I told you guys I'm gonna make a pact not to short gold this year, just because we're going so against the trend, so against the fundamentals, that it's not worth it. But but yeah, so if you're long from the initial long setup, then just keep holding. I wish I could find some entries to go long. It's just too volatile right now, in my opinion. But if you're a swing trader and you want to put a small lot long, go ahead. I think the long setup I target is maybe 1650 next up. So right here, and then something like this is is not bad. Something like this. So right, 1.92 to 1650, which stops just below these previous lows down here. It is a bit of overextended, so that's why I'd probably wait for a retrace of some sort. The ideal situation is a retrace to these lows, because your stop loss would be so tight and your payoff would be much greater, and it'd be a 5.3 R to R setup. So that's my opinion right now. Just because it's so volatile right now, I'm not going to get anyone to enter just yet. We'll get a better entry, but if you can't wait, this is something you can take. So 1.9, not bad. So I think that would be that. That's a lot of setups, and we're kind of waiting on a few to get activated, but fundamentals, today's pretty clear. Let's take a look at tomorrow. Tomorrow's a lot of Euro, French PMI, and German PMI, so that's going to be interesting, especially for the Euro. If you look at the numbers, they're all forecasted it to be worse than the previous month, so they're all bearish on the Euro. That might be a sign for a Euro trade going south. So yeah, and then we have some core retail sales for the CAD, and then we're done with the week. So guys, all setups will be on Discord. Email support@forexlens.com to get in on it. You can chat with me throughout the day, and it'll be awesome. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for a free live session. Try to refer 2 of your friends. If you refer 2 of your friends, you get a free month for as long as they're with us. So make sure you do that as well. With that being said, guys, I'm RP Forex. I'm logging off. Peace and happy trading.